Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to Generation 2 Part 20 of my Medieval Legacy Challenge. So here we join a very sad Thomas. He just went to his blacksmithing job only to discover it has been closed down. So he went along, he was, feeling fine, in a good mood, starting early like he always does. He starts work at like 6 normally. He's the master blacksmith for the area, and basically there were guards out the front saying, nah, the queen's shut this down. So he's incredibly sad about it. Now, I think we can all take a guess as to what Thomas might have done recently that might have, offended the crown. He's come to talk to Vivienne, and she's like, what's the matter, Dad? And he's like, the crown's shut me down. And she's like, why do you think that they would do that? And he's like, well, I did get in a fight with Sir Edison. And she's like, Dad, why did you do that for? And he's like, he was behaving very inappropriately. He was standing out the front of our house naked. She's like, that is outrageous. How come you're the one that gets in trouble when he's standing around the front of the house naked? And he's like, look, I shouldn't have started a fight with him, but it's a good question. So he's now giving himself a pep talk in the mirror, and I'd also like him to repair the stereo. Sorry, I'm putting you to work, buddy. That handiness 10's not going to go to waste. He can still contribute financially to the family. In fact, honestly, the blacksmith career actually, because it was a mod and it was based on Sims 4 Medieval, didn't pay very well. So he was at the top level, which is level 5, and he was getting a few hundred simoleons. When you compare that to a career like the criminal career, for example, where it's 5,000 simoleons at the top of the career. Yes, that's level 10 instead of level 5, but still. So he can actually make a decent amount of money. Like one of these bathtubs sells for 1,500. He'll still be able to contribute, but I figured that it was important that he have consequences for the fight that he got into with Edison. He's seen Rose and he's embarrassed, and he's gone out to the garden to harvest plants and stuff. She's seen him and gone, oh, that's weird. Thomas is here, but maybe she doesn't, it's a bit cloudy. She might not realize how late in the day it is. So Rose has come out to the garden and she's like, honey, what's the matter? And he's like, bees! She's like, okay, but other than that, she's also feeling very sad from bees now. Maybe apply a mite treatment. We may have been neglecting our bees, and then come have a glass of water. So, yeah, she's like, look, yes, it might be because of what Edison did. You're right that he shouldn't have been he shouldn't have been hanging around out the front of the house and stuff. I want to say, actually, I saw it instill with false confidence. Feels mean, though, because I'm like, it's not false confidence. She wants to instill him with actual confidence. I could have him rejoin the blacksmith career and start as, the guy sweeping up the metal chips from the floor of the smithy. But honestly, I don't think he would. She's trying to kind of cheer him up. But she's feeling a bit sad too, because she's obviously worried about the family. Let's share people person. I love you. This is happening with him in a tree. She's going to share people person tips with him because she's like, maybe he'll be a bit more personable. Because the thing is that Thomas, he's a bit grumpy at times. He always has been. Given the way Joseph was in the last part, I'm a bit worried Vivienne's also marrying a cranky young man. Anyway, we'll see. Obviously, it's not guaranteed that they're going to get married at this stage because she still needs to go on a date with him. So I'm going to do that now. Poor Rose. She's really worried. She's like, what if this affects my work? What if I can't, host dinner parties and stuff anymore? Because if Thomas has offended the crown, if the crown is moving against our family, lifestyle decline or denied? Rose had a poor discussion about her lifestyle. Some Sims wouldn't understand a great lifestyle if they'd been living it all their lives. And he's feeling angry. Live your own life. Thomas is tired of a certain someone trying to push their lifestyle onto him. It's not even all that great of a way to live. Wow. Things are going well is basically what I'm telling you. So I'm actually going to have her, I'm going to say invite out on a date, but I like to imagine he's inviting her. Alright, so they've come to the bar where Rose sometimes works. Not all the time. Not recently. She's done a lot more working in... Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, they're slow dancing. They basically shown up and started slow dancing. Now, we all saw that Vivienne initiated that. So my theory that maybe she's the one kind of taking the lead on this situation, I think, you know, we can assume that's the case. We get a nice beer. Now, yes, she's a teenager and so is he, but the way I figure it, they'd be, what, 17, you know, old enough to have been out and married in medieval times for a little while now. Kind of just want to run through this date and see if we can get gold. I feel like that'll be a good sign because he's gotten permission to court her. Now, I have a theory for why he actually got cranky, like mechanically what happened in the game that made him get cranky in the last part when he got that angry moodlet. Yes. You know how I've been having occasional moodlets relating to Bust the Dust, even though it's deactivated? And on that lot, it was an angry moodlet. Thomas has had it twice now, where he's gotten a deep cleaning rage at being in a really filthy floor, even though there's no dust and the floor's fine. I think that happened to Joseph as well. So it's not super his fault. Now, this is Sir Reginald. I think Vivienne wants to talk to him. So she's going to do a respectful introduction. Sorry, Joseph, I'm interrupting the date. My father just had his smithy shut down and I need to take this opportunity to try and set it right. Vivienne, get up. Has he gone? Have you left it too long? He's gone, hasn't he? You had an opportunity. You let it slip between your fingers. I tried, you guys. You all saw me try. So I'm going to have these guys sit together. Look, they are almost at gold. Now, she's going to... Let's see. I kind of want her to, like, snuggle with him. So she's, like, scooting over to him and she's like, hey. He's a bit embarrassed because he's like, this isn't the kind of appropriate thing one does in public. Now, I don't know if she is still rebellious. Let's just confirm that because it will affect her behavior. No, she's not. She's over it. She's a creative perfectionist, a muser, an artist creatively gifted, an everyman, and a happy toddler, and an idealist, all of which seems legit. So I guess we won't go too far. It's all a bit embarrassing. Magical first kiss in the air. I love that. I love that so much. She's like, I really do like you. And he's like, well, you kind of had already, oh, I should have said yes to that. You kind of already had communicated that. Let's do the magical first kiss. Lady, go away. Betty's like supervising. Oh, young love. So wonderful. I remember when I first met Simon. Poor Simon. I'm still sad about how he died. Okay. They've had a kiss. That should get us a gold date as well, or did that not count as an interaction? It did. Lady, this is all very awkward. Betty's like, no, I've got to keep an eye on you. You young children. She's like, we're not young children. Now, they could, like, mess around and stuff, but we're not going to do any of that. So he is asking her to be his girlfriend. Let's imagine that's how that went. So they are together. He's like really keen on her ideas. He's like, so tell me about your idea for a shop, you know. Tell me about how you want to run a shop and stuff. And she's like, well, I was mainly thinking we could sell like my artwork and stuff. I thought that might be really nice, you know, a way to make money. Maybe we could make flowers. Like my grandmother, Olivia, was really known for her floral arrangements and stuff. Like she sold them as well. And I thought that would be like, you know, or maybe like woodworking. Like my dad does some really great woodwork and stuff. So he's like, oh my gosh. And he, I think, no, put that away. He, I think, is actually a bit worried because he's like, how do I fit into this? Like, what do I contribute? This is cute. Promise rings. I am going to have them get married after they're adults, so. Attractiveness. Vivienne gets the impression Joseph finds her quite attractive. Oh. So these two are betrothed. I find it interesting that with a couple of kisses and a whole bunch of flirting and like tension, they're already like most of the way through the romance bar. Oh, did you see she touched his bottom and he moved a hand up? So it is actually her birthday tomorrow. I'm thinking what we'll do is I'll age up all three of them. I do also need to age up all of the other teenagers. I do need to age them all up to be young adults as well, I think, because they are all around the same age. I actually think Crispin and Jonathan are older than Vivienne. So Rose is asking how the date went, and Vivienne's explaining that it went really well, and she's talking about divorce. So yeah, she's talking about how, you know, her and Joseph have been talking about, you know, when are they going to get married, and Rose is like, that's great news, honey. Vivienne's saying that she saw Sir Reginald at, oh, that was eerie. Vivienne's explaining she saw Sir Reginald at the pub and she tried to catch him, but he saw her and kept walking. Now, that's possibly because he's very busy and important, and it's possibly because he knew who she was and didn't really want to engage. And I realised this moodlet's going to last 4 days, so Thomas is really going to struggle for a little while. Alright, it's mid-morning, Friday morning, and everyone stayed home from school / you know, whatever. So, school/work, although no one in this house works out of the house anymore, which is a bit awkward. So I'm not going to have a big party or anything. I'm kind of just going to age everyone up. Happy birthday, Vivienne. Now, we do have to think about what her third trait will be. Interesting. Happy birthday, honey. All right, let's see what the game suggests, and then we'll go from there. Jealous. Interesting. After thinking about it, I've decided to actually go with the game suggestion of jealous. I feel like a well-rounded sim is one that has at least one negative trait, you know? Plus, I kind of like the idea that she remembers when they first started courting, and maybe she feels like he kissed her so readily. What if he kisses other girls so readily? So I could see it fitting. Plus, the colour I chose for her was green. Right, now this is really where it's going to get interesting, because obviously we haven't seen the children as teens yet. Now, little Christopher is a rambunctious scamp sim. I had imagined him taking... Oh, where did he go? He disappeared. I had imagined him taking over the forge from his dad. I don't think we'll go with squeamish or vegetarian for that matter. I was thinking more like his father, maybe self-assured or active, something like that. Obviously, there's a ways to go before he can take over from his father, because his father doesn't currently have a business. Which is the one that has handiness? Maybe that one? I genuinely can't remember, but we'll go for that. Oh, I was like, there's a fire outside. Nope, it's just Christopher. Let's have a quick look at his face. Obviously, ignore the piercings and stuff. You know, he's a handsome fellow. You can still see the influence of Zachary in his face, actually, I think. Did you do it? Oh, no, wait. Did I just tell you to add candles? We're working on our relationship. Well, that's great, Thomas. What is your relationship with him? It's not quite fully negative. Lazy. Moodlets from watching TV. We didn't even have TV. Oh, cat lover. Let's do that. I like the idea of his as a cheerful cat lover. That's cute. She could have hordes of cats. Maybe she could be a foodie like her mum. Oh my gosh. Well, she's got some anime hair. Let's have a look at the main cast, because obviously there's a lot going on there. Okay, so this is little Christopher without the skin details. He's definitely got his mum's nose. A very narrow kind of nose with a little upturn at the end. That's a characteristic from Olivia for sure. I'll just take that piercing off as well. He's got his granddad's eyes. I love it. Now, this obviously is a little harder to see. We'll just take all of everything off. There we go. Yeah, she's got much, like, kind of more like her mum's eyes. because her mum's got the quite heavy eyelid fold. And Annabella's hair apparently has gone black. Alrighty, guys, I'm actually coming back to you the next day. Yes, it took me just that long to give everyone makeovers. And also I aged up Crispin, Jonathan, and Desiree and gave them traits as well. I gave Desiree Unflirty. The other two boys, I think, both got Love the Outdoors. I can't actually remember. But I also built a retail/house for Vivienne, but I had to stop recording last night because I was recording a bit late and it was getting later and I was quite conscious of, the fact that I have neighbours who share a wall. So yeah, this is little Christopher. I've given him longer hair. I think this is actually a female hair. So that's a thing. I do that a lot in medieval. I actually give a lot of the blokes the female hairs because I figured back then they probably had a lot more long hair. So this is his everyday. I figured if he's learning to do handiness and a trade kind of thing, but I have gone for like better quality clothes again in that, she's going to be merchant generation. Her house is really pretty. I can't wait to show you guys. We've got, sleepwear. This sack of a shirt that I like to put them in. That's party. And then, it's a lot of the same clothes over and over. I didn't really have anything that seemed to work for his winter wear. Just out of curiosity, what did I put Thomas in for winter? That's a longer shirt. Oh, okay, it's a different swatch of that one. I don't know that Czech is particularly medieval, but then he's not wearing a tunic, so none of it is medieval. I could do that. That's slightly longer. I'll do that. So that's going to be his winter wear. And then we have little Annabella, who is a doll. I did give her a bit more chin, and other than that, and some skin details and CC obviously, but other than that, her facial features are untouched. I think she's very pretty. And I figured, because she's cheerful, I've given her a bit more lace and like ruffles and stuff. Like she's got cute little lacy socks on. Pretty much all of her outfits, again, are the same. She aged up with a really high fitness. I think Christopher had lower fitness, but a little bit more body weight to him. He will end up being a smith and owning the house. I don't have a vision yet for her. In the same way that I don't have a vision yet for Crispin, because I always figured the oldest son gets the house and the property, but then what do I do with the other kids? I love this hair, this little CC. I want to say Buzzard is the user, like the CC creator, but this one came with like a little ribbon weaved through the braid, which I thought was very cute. So then I had to choose a dress that goes with that hair. So the rest of it is, you'll notice, quite similar stuff over and over, except for that dress. And she's got some cute little CC shoes. I really like those shoes. So there you go. That is the kids. All right, here's the little fam in game. They're all getting their cake, having a chat. Oh, hey, Isabella's here. I'm just going to check. I'm 99% sure I paused her pregnancy. She should probably be in her second trimester by now. So I'm actually just going to... Don't look. I'm covering the screen so you can't see what she's having. Yeah, she's having a girl. All right, let's change her pregnancy phase so that she's showing. Now, what I decided to do, because the rules for the next generation say that you get 22,000 simoleons for your house. There are no room number restrictions like there used to be. Like for this house, I was only allowed to have 4 rooms. So I went 1, 2, and then I treated this entire living area up to here as 1 because it's open. 4. So that's the reason I did it that way. And then this doesn't count because it's open-sided. This is how I got away with it. But there's no room restrictions for the new one. And we got 22,000 for the house, 20,000 for the shop, because I have Get to Work. So I've built a 42,000 simoleon house shop combo. We'll have to buy land that is their actual house. You can't live in shops, like they're residential or retail. But if you have a bed, you can sleep in it. And I'm hoping in fact, I know you can in retail shops, you can lock the doors. So I'll just lock it so that only the household and then maybe club members or something can get into the house up top, and then the bottom level is the retail level. The other thing I did was I put it in Glimmerbrook because I thought all of the lots in this neighbourhood are full. There's a couple that I've freed up in central Windenburg, but I was actually thinking I might keep them for The next generation is the knight generation, and I feel like the knight will need to live more centrally. And I don't want to demolish the shop. So what I was thinking was that I would have... Oh, Isabella's seen Rose coming and now wants to leave. I'm actually going to have her ask her to hang out because I do want these guys to talk. Yeah, so I was thinking I'm going to build a little... I'm going to say it's still part of Windenburg in the same way that I've been identifying Willow Creek as Windenburg. So Windenburg is a big sprawling kingdom, and all of the realms, like all of the worlds in the game that are very green and lush, I'm going to say are Windenburg, because otherwise I can't kind of get the depth of range of households and lots and things that they can do that I really want, because the number of neighborhoods obviously being so restricted. There's only 15 in Windenburg. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough talking about that. Rose wants to confirm that she's pregnant. If I ask her due date or ask to feel the baby, I have had woohoo before. She has woohooed with Mortimer. She's admitting that yes, when they had their big kind of I like you, oh my god, I like you too moment, that it did lead in a certain direction. They had consummated their love. He has talked to her about how he would like to marry her, but it's complicated. The royal family and the other nobles could actually celebrate her pregnancy, could actually punish the Goth family if Mortimer, as the head of that family, were to marry a peasant. Like, there will actually be judgment, there'll be exclusion, that kind of thing. So Rose is obviously very worried about this. She's like, well, someone needs to look after my sister and her child. She's clearly with child. We're imagining she's got a belly here. If I unpause it, will it resume pregnancy? There we go. Will she bounce to her correct shape? There we go. That's more like it. So she's obviously pregnant. She knows she's pregnant. She's a midwife. She knows she's pregnant. She recognizes the signs, you know. Rose is worried about if Mortimer won't marry Isabella, who's going to look after Isabella, especially because Morty is very, very old. Rose is thinking about talking to Morty. I think that Isabella's like, no, please don't. You know, Morty said he'll talk to Cassandra and George and make sure that they look after me and keep me on after he's gone. And then she's looking very sad because, you know, the idea of him being gone. Oh, this is little Desiree as a young adult, by the way. Beautiful young lady. She's so pretty. I love her eyes. Yeah, that's the situation. Isabella's kind of taking it on faith that George and Cassandra will be true to their word, because obviously they know she's pregnant as well. It's pretty obvious. They've promised Morty that they won't, you know, kick her out on the street or anything. Rose's impression of Cassandra, she's relatively trustworthy. She's a bit of a scatterbrain, but she's also seen how George turned Morty against Alexander. Rose, I think, in pondering this, is thinking to herself, well, you know, obviously we won't let Isabella be abandoned and alone and starving on the street. I'm going to have Rose come out and basically offer to her sister that if it goes wrong, especially because Vivienne's about to move out, so we'll have a spare bed. If it goes wrong and George betrays you or whatever, if it goes wrong, come to us. We will look after you. Now, Isabella's like, well, you know, aren't you worried about the implications, you know, for your work? And Rose is going to explain, well, Thomas has already alienated the royal family. Oh, Prince Charles of Windenburg, who is the king or the queen's husband, just offered us a job. That's nice. Maybe the royal family's not as mad as we thought. So she's basically saying, look, it's fine. You know, can't get any worse. Which obviously it can. So there you go. That's kind of where we're at. What I might do real quick, just before I wrap up this part, is I'm going to wait for her to finish this. I'm going to put stuff in her inventory that I want her to take with her. If there's any toys or anything, let's see what she's got. I had her mum make her some garlic. She doesn't need the chicken stuff because we don't have a coop yet. We've got some fruit to take with us to plant. She doesn't need that anymore. We have some rocks that she's found after thunderstorms. So I think we're basically ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I am going to have Joseph move in with her, but I think I'll have them get married first. Okay, guys, so I decided Desiree is going to move in just temporarily. She will move back with her parents, but she's moving in just until Vivienne and Joseph are married so that she's not a lady alone, especially because she's going to be like out in the wilderness a little bit more. And I feel like Vivienne is probably okay with it, but her parents would be more comfortable if she's not alone. Desiree not only is a spellcaster, albeit not a very good one yet, she's also come from a very rugged kingdom where she learned the benefits of garlic and locking one's doors, and she was surrounded by pine trees, so I figure she'll fit right in. Now, I cheated. I've moved them in an empty lot, and I gave them the 42,000 simoleons as household funds. They will have 1 simoleon left over. I spent every penny, you guys. So we're buying the retail lot, and then the plan is that they're basically going to live there. I don't know how well this is going to work. I have seen other people do it. I expect I'll have to go back to the home lot to do things that require a mailbox. So shipping things on Plopsy, for example. So we've got the retail shop on the ground floor, and then the top floor is residential. I thought this section I'm going to have her sell produce. Things like these flowers, and these are like little CC objects, the grain, tomatoes, that kind of thing. I'm going to mark all those for sale. We've got flowers, a wreath. I imagine she's made these things. None of this stuff's expensive is the main thing. All of these objects are, less than 100 simoleons because I didn't have a lot left. That isn't going to be sold. That easel is for display. I put in a little handiness table. I was kind of thinking, because she's got crafting, like she's got painting level 10, and Joseph presumably has no skills. I haven't checked. She's also got the gregarious trait. That's the other thing, because we achieved the bonus on the previous generation. I cheated to give her gregarious, so she's good with people. She's probably better at doing sales and painting, and I was thinking he could learn to craft, and then the things he makes we could put out on the floor to sell, like baths and pots, and you don't know what I mean. So it's we're not just selling art, we're selling, it's like a general store. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. I'd like to put in aisles, but I didn't have the money for anything like that. Now for the top floor, most of the money went on this kitchen because I bought the country kitchen kit and I was going to use it. So I put in unnecessary cabinetry, you guys. I could have put more stuff downstairs. Obviously, we have the Realm of Magic stove because it just seems more appropriate to me than anything else in the game. This little fridge, that's actually a fridge. If you watch For the Love of Sims, she uses this a lot in her decades, and also when she was doing medieval, she used it. It works as a fridge, but it looks like a pantry, which I quite like. So I've used that in this build. We don't have laundry yet, but I will eventually get in a laundry tub and a clothesline. We've got 1 bedroom, so her and Desiree may have to sleep in shifts or share a bed, and 1 toilet. I've put in space for a second bathroom and space for kids' rooms, but no actual bathroom because I couldn't afford it again. And we have 1 downstairs toilet for customers. So there you go. That is our shop. Very excited. So what I'm going to do just real quick is, open the store. I've got Desiree out just planting a little garden. I've put like 2 of everything she was carrying. And again, it's not flowers. It's not the stuff that gets obscenely expensive. It's just little things. Little Sebastian is here. We've got Crispin and Alessandro and George Goth Stone. It's a shame Rose isn't here. She has things to say to George. That's all right. Come downstairs and you can like say hi to everyone. She's going to get to know everybody. And I'm loving they're all coming in their little costumes. So yeah, I'm imagining she like mingles, talks to everyone while they all look at everything. And the disadvantage of having like really expensive stuff and also really cheap stuff is you could put all this work into like making them want to buy from you, and then they go and buy something that's cheap. So that's bad. But yeah, it looks like it's working. We've got, a nice little selection of customers here, and nobody's come upstairs, which is great. So what I might do, I'm going to end this part here. I am 100% going to play this just for a little bit, make some sales. So hopefully we have some money in the next part. I do not know why Destiny is shrieking. It's fine. It's fine. Hopefully you like the build. Hopefully you like the way everyone's kind of come together as adults. And in the next part, I guess there's going to be a couple of things. One, obviously, will be getting Vivienne engaged. The other is going to be, I think Isabella's very likely to have her baby in the next part. She should be due by now. And then we probably should also age up Andrea's little girl. So, on that note, if you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.